The recently passed Electoral Act Amendment Bill by Nigeria's parliament has started generating reactions from stakeholders who lauded its passage. This will be the fourth time the Electoral Act Amendment Bill will be sent to President Muhammadu Buhari for assent. He had announced the rejection of the bill on September 3 due to some drafting issues that were unaddressed by prior revisions. His refusal to assent to the bill made the National Assembly Joint Committee on the Independent National Electoral Commission to reconvene and deliberate on the bill for the fourth time. However, Mr. Ezenwa, a lead at Partners for Electoral Reform, spoke on the critical section of the amendment which puts a peg to what political parties can spend during campaigning.
The reforms, the amendments, the current amendments are meant to shore up integrity, to remove some of the, bottlenecks in having clean election. In terms of the ceiling for campaign expenditure, I hope if it had come like yesterday, it would have been a very big boost. And that was why we were calling for this to be passed on time. We have lost that opportunity. Parties have already taken their 45 million, they have taken their 10 million, they've taken all sorts. And when people talk about these monies, 1 million that you charge for a particular political party may be 45 million for other people, really. So it's good that that part of the amendment has come to play. It will hopefully put political parties in check in terms of how much they are able to take the window for campaign financing.
The limitations to campaign expenditure will now put party ticket and nomination forms at 1 million naira for a House of Representative aspirant, 2 million naira for a senatorial aspirant, 5 million naira for a governorship aspirant, 10 million naira for a presidential aspirant.
For one, like I said, we've shored up electoral integrity. This PVC and the smart card reader is a game changer, undeniable game changer. What does that mean? You no longer can incidence forms, all of those issues with which you pad figures, they are eliminated. Even if you want to do that now, you have to be ingenious. You have to you have to sit down and work hard. It may not completely eliminate, all the shenanigans that you see during election, but at least to a reasonable extent, people will now have to think before they get involved, because even the enhancement, the continued enhancement of the card reader continues to show up the integrity level of elections.
For campaign spending, the limits are 70 million naira for a House of Representatives election, 100 million naira for a senatorial election, 1 billion naira for a governorship election, and 5 billion naira for a presidential election. Meanwhile, on his part, civil society activist Jai Gaskia said the implementation of these actions by political parties in Nigeria may equally depend on the quick assent by President Muhammadu Buhari, as that it will define how elections are conducted in Nigeria.
The elections and defeat an incumbent president. Although, of course, we have integrity of the electoral management body, and then we also add the fact that all the big wigs had moved into APC. That was there, okay? But for the very first time in our history, the number of votes cast was very close to the actual number of people who went out to vote. Because in the past, those figures would have been inflated. So it's becoming clearer now that with card reader, there is also very little room for maneuvering. And you see that all the places where we had problems and challenges in 2015 were the places where, because they said the card readers were not working, they had to resort to manual, manual accreditation and the rest of that.
The primary aim of the bill is to ensure a free and transparent electoral process across the nation. Itogimo, edit. Roots TV, Abuja.